Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's been quite rushing. I just left from the airport to get here. But I want to start by thanking you for making time to talk. It's very important because sometimes when we are influencing in our own spaces, we think we have it all. But one thing I learned from this process is that if Leo did not make time for us to speak at my residence almost 2 years ago, we would not have been able to put all of this together. One lesson I also learned is that you might be influencing in your own space, but you might not know about other people. I've been working in development for a long time across the world. And one thing which happens amongst young people is that sometimes we don't create spaces to share ideas and see how we can be able to build together. But as a young person, one of my biggest dreams has always been to see how other young people can be able to move beyond what they do daily. It's common within the entertainment space for people to mentor others. But what we are not seeing is for people to build others sustainably. And on that day, I told Leo, do you know why PTP is very respected? And he said, no. I said, because he's a maestro. Today, those he trained sustainably are talking about him. And the day he leaves, people keep talking about him because he invested in people. But interestingly, many young people want to do things which will fetch money. And I told Leo, there's no money in this thing, but you're investing in people. And that's true influence. Followers are good, but change people's lives and you'll be immortalized. And that was a conversation. And for this to work, sometimes you need some money to fuel the process. And we kept thinking, and he said, Christian, how do we get money to get this done? I said, okay, let's speak to some people. And I really want to celebrate the time, the effort, the ideas which the Canadian High Commission brought into this process. Money is one, but people who give money and believe and help pilot processes are even much more important. And this was what we saw. And the CFLI was there and we said, okay, let's go for it. And we submitted. But it's also very interesting because when you are in your own space, you might not have the capacity to get it right. So we were working in development and he's our product, and we said, okay, we know how to write reports, we know how to write proposals, we know how to do budgeting and all of that. We can guarantee accountability because that's the biggest fear for every donor, value for money. And that's what we brought. And thanks to the young people with whom we work, we were able to give in our best, pro bono work, believing in the process. And some weeks ago when I was in Douala and I watched people, these young people who have been trained singing, I felt so happy because we've started a movement where young people from different walks of life should be able to work together to build. That is the future of this country. And today, I want to thank all those who have made time to be here today. You're going to believe what I'm talking about after you watch these young people perform. They have been transformed because it's not only about singing. And we are also working hard to ensure that within this process, we bring in trainings and capacity buildings for these young people on issues of children's rights, gender-based violence, and many others, so that we could be able to build and forge a young group of artists who would be able to stay clear of some of the difficulties that is faced within the entertainment space that we all know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Mr. Leo so much for this. I want to thank his manager because it's teamwork. The entire team has been amazing. And Marcus, I want to thank you. We spoke and you brought the vision. And every other person in the Canadian High Commission, our hope is that we don't end here. I work in the security sector. It is even more challenging when we start processes that we cannot continue. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to implore you all, we need to continue this work. Little drops, we can be able to make an ocean. Thank you all for your kind attention, and please savor the performance, and of course, we'll be able to follow up later to ensure that we can be able to continue this movement. Thank you so much. My name is Christian Achaleke. Thank you.